This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new artist to introduce you to. She is Vancouver native Tessa Mouzourakis, and we have her on the phone. Tessa, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now, I want to talk about, of course, your newly released debut EP, but can we kind of, just before we get into the current stuff, can we go back a little bit, because you're only 17 years old, but you've been at this for quite a while. You've been writing songs, singing from a very young age. Can you take us back to where it all began and when you decided you wanted to make this a career?
Yeah, I've been writing since I was about 8 years old. It was something that I always loved to do, and but it wasn't until I taught myself how to play guitar and I learned piano when I was about 12 that I really started to pursue my career wholeheartedly, I guess you could say. And I haven't stopped since. It's something I do every day. I love it. I perform all the time. This EP it's a big deal for me. It's a big step. But it feels like I've been doing this forever.
Well, let's talk about the new EP. Can you take us into a little bit more detail about some of these songs off the EP and the stories that kind of helped you develop these songs?
Yeah, sure. All of the songs I wrote, and a lot of it, they're all written about personal experiences. One that's especially important to me, I guess you could say, is called Close My Eyes. And it's actually one that I wrote it at midnight when I couldn't sleep. And it's kind of just about me not being able, having anxieties and not being able to sleep.
Very cool. Awesome. Now, what about for people who haven't necessarily heard the EP yet, I know it was released not too long ago, a couple weeks ago now. What can fans expect to hear from this EP? What's the sound, the style of your music?
Well, it's evolved over time, and so this one is kind of a big mark in my biggest step into the country genre. And I've always been influenced by country music, but this is my first big country project. So definitely you can hear a lot of my country influences. It's a very Nashville influenced album. It's kind of folky. There's definitely some pop melodies, some pop vibes in there, and it's very much me. It's kind of my new sound, and I'm very excited about it.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that you draw from some of your country influences. Are there any particular artists that you tend to draw from more often than not?
Yeah, well, I've always been very influenced by Taylor Swift. I know she's kind of jumped into the pop genre recently, but ever since I was younger, I always really looked up to her because she was a successful woman songwriter, and I really kind of connected with that. And I'm also a huge fan of Casey Musgraves, as well as some of the older country music, like Johnny Cash and Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn. I really just love the acoustic sounds of the country music and the genre. I love it.
Excellent. Well, if fans want to connect with you and check out your music, first off, where can they do that?
Well, I've got an official website. It's TessaMouzourakis.com. I'm a teenager, so I love my social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Tessa M Music, and I'm always up there. I love talking to fans and just chatting with people. It's a really great place to kind of connect with people all over the world, and I'm also on YouTube. I like to make a lot of music videos and do some covers and stuff, so that's always a good place to see if I have any new music. That's where I like to share some of my work in progresses.
Awesome. Well, Tessa, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Fans, be sure to check out her new EP entitled Tessa. There are 5 great songs on that EP. Tessa, thank you so much, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.